I'm telling y'all, there's a story behind this build.
Alright, so believe it or not, today I'm gonna be doing a head gasket job on this car. I blew my head gasket. I had radiator fluid on my cylinder number 2 and 3 spark plug.
For the most part, I'm gonna be referencing this book here. I'll leave a link in the descriptions for doing some of the work to the car, like your timing. This is a pretty big job. If you're not confident in doing it, I recommend don't even give it a shot. But this is gonna be my project and how I go about doing things. So hopefully you guys like it. Hopefully you guys get any information out of it. If anything, I will say that this job is doable. Just kind of in any condition, as long as you have the right tools and I guess I'll say the right knowledge. Like I said, reference a manual. But let's get started. If you got fluids or coolant in your car, make sure you drain that. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna remove my air box. After that, I'll probably just remove the fuel rail, intake manifold, just kind of move everything out of the way. I'm gonna time lapse this, so yeah, let's get to it.
So I do want to note, when removing your injector wires, to remove your harness out of the way, just be careful when pulling them. These things break kind of easy. Probably getting a couple things loose down there. It's a lot of little stuff you gotta take loose. Take all your sensors and everything loose. That way you can move this. Camera falling. That way you can move this out of the way. All right. Take the valve cover off. Well, this here isn't supposed to happen. Seems like the whole stud coming out with it. I'm not sure what's going on with that down there. Might have to put some needle nose pliers down there, keep it from turning. All right, so I ended up getting that out. It's kind of raised a little. Go ahead and remove my stick here.
So I got everything. So pretty much every time you take this valve cover off, you gotta get a new gasket anyway. Can't reuse the old gasket.
Well, this is the result of having a blown head gasket. That doesn't look good at all. Yeah, I'm gonna have to clean everything. I mean, it's only been sitting for a week since I crunk it with the water, with actually water in the radiator. So that last crank with when I put water in the radiator is what really ruined everything. This is before I knew I even had a blown head gasket, but now I know that I had a blown head gasket. So I'm gonna go ahead and get ready to take everything loose. So I'll time lapse everything. I'm gonna get ready to tackle the exhaust manifold next. I kind of sprayed everything down with WD-40, removed the spark plugs, put it in a condition like this, which is not good. I did turn it over and it spins. Oh, and it just shot out a whole bunch of stuff in water. Crap. Catch that again. Spinning some more. I'm sure there's a lot of water in there. Dang, I hate y'all missed that crap on camera. I'm not proud of it, but it is what it is. Yeah, but I'm gonna get this taken care of. But you're gonna need this tool for your O2 sensor. You may already have one, you may not. That's the part number right there. All right, I'm gonna take this O2 sensor off and remove the 4 bolts that's in my downpipe. Alright guys, got my exhaust loose, got all my wires back here till my solenoid is off. Alright guys, the next thing I gotta do is break this, I'm gonna have to break this bolt. And this never works without a leverage bar. I got this big old massive Moso. See if I can get y'all a better view.
Whew. I heard a couple cracks.
All right, got that broken. Hey look, you're definitely gonna need one of these tools here. I got that from Amazon. Anyway, on to the next thing. All right guys, next I'm gonna take the mount loose. I'm gonna break both the stiffer bolts first. After that, I'll just start taking loose my ground wires, and I'll just remove the rest of the motor mount. I'll take this bolt loose. I'm gonna time lapse this, but here we go. Hey guys, next we're gonna take our motor mount loose. I got my jack under here already. I'm gonna use my block. I'm gonna actually put it underneath the motor. Whenever you put your jack underneath the motor, make sure you put it where it's on the end, where the pan is more sturdy, and not in the middle where it's, you know, weaker. Anyway, let's take this off. Alright guys, now that I have all that removed, I'm not gonna film me taking this cover off. I'm just gonna go ahead and remove all the bolts from it. You're gonna have to remove this. You have to remove your VTC solenoid here. And yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and get all these bolts removed, get the cover removed. Alright, so I know it may be a little hard to see, but I got my timing tension off, my timing chain off, my timing guides off. Next, I'm gonna go ahead and start working on these cam caps up here. I'm gonna break them off in sequence. So here's your camshaft holder bolts in the loosening sequence. I'll show the tightening sequence later, but not sure y'all can see that. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna get ready just to kind of break all these. When I break them, I'm gonna break them off in like different stages. I'll kind of break all of them first, and I'll go back, do one stage of loosening, and then I'll go ahead and finish loosening them all the way. All right, so I'm gonna time lapse this. So they're all getting pretty easy now. Some of them still have a little tension on them. I can see the cam kind of raising. That's why they things need to be loosened in the sequence that they need to be loosened in. But at least if you break them all first in the sequence and then start loosening them all in that one sequence, then you can probably kind of go around and just start, you know, just kind of taking them out. All right, so I'm gonna lift these cam off. Yeah, hopefully I can fix this. All right. And I'm gonna zip tie these here. All right, let me zip tie all these and cut y'all back on. I'm over here struggling. So what I'm doing here is I'm just lifting them all the way up together. Put me a zip tie around it. I'm actually, with these pliers here, I'm actually pulling it, trying to get it as tight as I can. And I see the little piston that wants, it don't want to come out, but you know, I don't want it to come out either, because I don't want to lose it. But I'm not mistaken, if you do lose one, you can't buy them separate. You'll have to buy the whole thing together. But anyway, I tried to wiggle these things off here. I kind of figured this was probably going to be one of my pry points. I pried up lightly and it kind of made way. And then just find multiple spots to kind of pry it up.
This in a little bit. There we go. And there she is. Yeah, be there. Right. Yeah. Yeah, that'll work. Alright, cool beans. So now I'm gonna go ahead and start breaking the head bolts. Alright, so to do the cylinder head bolts, you're gonna need 12-point sockets.
Let's see what size it is. Probably only a 14.
Yeah, it's a 14. Alright, so I'm gonna get ready to loosen these up. Here's the sequence right here. Now, although this is the tightening sequence, it says do them in reverse. So we're just gonna kind of reverse and break them all.
It says loosen the bolts in a sequence quarter turn at a time. Then disregard the bolts and use new ones. So we got head studs we're gonna be replacing these with. All right, so I'm gonna get this loosened up here. Here I am gonna break them into some reverse sequence here. So this was your 10, this is the last one. We're gonna do a quarter turn.
Not tearing nothing up. Alright, that might have been a little less than a quarter. Alright, that'll be about a quarter turn. So we'll do 10, we'll go over here to 9. That'd be better if I have it at this angle. Alright, we'll go to 8. Alright, we'll go to 7. I'm just gonna have to start right here. Alright, go to 6. Go to 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Let it grip on that. Alright. So I'll continue to do that. I'll do another quarter turn. And then I'll cut y'all back on.
All right, so after doing that a few times, I'm gonna go ahead and hit it with this now. All right, so I think I got everything around the motor. I kind of want to double check. I think I got some stuff in the back.
It's on the block.
Let's try this side. Oh yeah, it's already not bad right there. I catch from the inside, probably be better. There we go. Oh, we ain't got no regrets. Let me just take these things all the way out. I'm not reusing these, so I think this is where I made a mistake. Take all your head bolts out. Just take them out. I could tell myself to do things in my head and won't do it. Anyway, there we go. Okay. Oop. All right, looks disgusting, but we can make it happen. Let's see if I can find out exactly where. I know it was in this cylinder. Let's see if I see anything really crazy. I guess I go inspect my head now. So I thought I'd add some of my cleaning process here as far as removing the rust. These cans are pretty rusty. I dipped pretty much all my parts in this mineral spirits. I just kind of pick up some of this here. Yeah, I just kind of let it soak overnight, to be honest with you. I still got to put a little sandpaper to it, but these cans are really rusted. There's still a little bit on here, but remove most of the rust. Just trying to revive these. I just thought I'd just share with y'all what I do as far as cleaning though. Alright guys, so I got everything pretty much ready. I'm gonna have all this stuff sitting in some oil. I'm gonna fill this thing up with oil. Might not fill up all the way, but yeah, I'm just gonna let it sit in oil until it's time for me to get ready to put everything back together. I'll take the head to the machine shop. But yeah, that's my cleaning process. So y'all, thanks for watching. So at the time of making this video, I will be having a part 2 of this, and the reason why I got gone wrong is because I found out that more than my head gasket was blown. But I'll leave that for part 2. But again, thanks for watching. Hope you guys like, do comment, subscribe, and I'll be back. Stay tuned for the next thing. And as always, I'm out.